So now I'm going to try a trick with you. We're going to play you a piece that has a story. Very good story. But I'm going to tell you the wrong story. I'm just going to make one up out of my head that doesn't belong to this music at all. And I'm not going to tell you the real name of this piece. And you see if the story and the music don't go together just as well as if it were the real story. Okay, here goes. In the middle of a big city, there stands an enormous jail full of prisoners. It's midnight, and all the prisoners are asleep, except for one who can't sleep because he was put in jail unjustly. And he spends the whole night practicing on his kazoo while all the other prisoners are sleeping and snoring all around him. You all know what a kazoo is, you do? Well, this kazoo-playing prisoner has a friend who's going to come and rescue him tonight, and this friend's name is Superman. So, Superman comes charging down through the alley on his motorcycle. Then he whistles his secret whistle so that his friend, the prisoner, will know he's coming. Now, as he gets nearer the prison, he hears all the prisoners snoring away peacefully in the dead silence of the night. And over this snoring, he hears his friend playing on his kazoo, which gets louder and louder as he gets nearer. Suddenly, he charges into the prison yard and bops the guard over the head. So the kazoo stops playing, and with all the snoring still going on, he grabs his friend and whisks him away on his motorcycle. The snoring gets farther and farther away until we don't hear it at all anymore. And our hero arrives at last to freedom. That's the story. Now, let's hear how this music sounds all put together. And remember to keep this story in your mind. Here goes. Here comes Superman. He hears the whistle. There goes the snoring. The kazoo. And now here comes Superman. Pop! He grabs his friend. And they're off. Snoring gets softer. They're free! Now, all that makes good sense, doesn't it? Makes perfectly good sense. But that's not the real story at all. What this piece really is part of a much longer piece by Richard Strauss called Don Quixote. And in it, Strauss was trying to tell a whole other story, which goes something like this. Don Quixote is the name of a silly old man back in the days of knights in armor and horseback, a foolish old man who read too many books about knighthood and chivalry and conquering armies for his beautiful lady and all that sort of nonsense, and who finally decided he was a marvelous knight himself. So off he goes on his skinny, bony old horse to conquer the world. And he has with him a companion named Sancho Panza, a little fat, jolly fellow who is very faithful to his master, but who is also sensible enough to know that his master's a little cuckoo. So we hear him laughing at old Don Quixote. Suddenly, Don Quixote spies a flock of sheep in the middle of a field going ba, ba, ba. That's all that stuff you heard before, which we thought was snoring. And with them is a shepherd keeping the sheep and playing on his pipe the way all shepherds do. Not a kazoo, but a shepherd's pipe. And Don Quixote, in his mixed-up mind, thinks that the sheep are an army specially put there for him to conquer. So in he charges with his sword flashing. And the sheep run off in all directions, baaing wildly. And he's convinced he has done a truly knightly deed. And is he proud? Now, let's listen to it all over again with the real story in mind and see how it sounds. Sheep, you understand. Now, was that music any different from what we played before? Was it? Is it more exciting, or more fun, or better music? No. Does it have any different musical meaning? No. It's exactly the same, only the story is different. And in fact, there are 100 other stories I could have made up out of my head for the same piece of music. But the music would still have been just as good or just as bad as it is without any story at all. Now do you see what I mean?